friends, and welcome back to Sheena Naturally. If you are new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Today's look is all about the smoky eye. The smoky eye happens to be one of my favorite looks next to the neutral everyday look. So if you want to know how I got this look, stay tuned. Okay, so I've already done my brows off camera, and here I'm just using concealer to prime my eyelids. And I love to use my finger when I'm doing this step just because I feel like it warms up the products into the skin and it makes it blend in better than if I were to use a brush. So now I'm going to move on to eyeshadow, and I'm going to use this really pretty natural brown color. Like I said, I love natural and neutral colors. So I'm just going to place that all over the brow bone and in there with the crease as well. I'm going to do this to both eyelids. This color is more like your transition color. It'll help transition and smooth whatever colors you choose to use on your lid. Okay, so we're gonna move on to this Urban Decay Naked palette. Beautiful colors, and we're gonna go for the black because we are doing a smoky eye look. And so I'm going to take that black and I'm going to pat that onto the lid. You don't want to do like the wiping or windshield movement here. You definitely want to pat that color onto the lid. And I had to adjust the light here because it changed on me. But we're just going to continue to pat that black onto the lid because, again, we're going for a smoky eye look. So we're just going to pat that onto both lids. Okay, so now that we have that black onto both lids, I'm going to go back in with this pretty brick red color, and that's going to be placed like in the crease, kind of where I did that transition color and where the black meet together. I'm going to just use that brick red color in that part just to kind of blend the two together, so again they can transition and it blends smoothly. The thing with eyeshadow, especially when you're doing like bold colors and things like that, you definitely want to continue to blend and blend some more. You can always go back and add more color on top if you need to, but you definitely want to continue to blend. And here I just went back into the black because, like I said, you know, when you're blending, sometimes you'll lose a little bit of that color, and I'm just adding additional black onto the black that I had already placed there. But I'm going to continue to blend and blend and blend. Okay, here is where I took a small crease brush and I applied a darker color, like a darker red color into the crease just because I wanted that transition between that brick red and the black to be a little smoother. So I just went for that darker red to kind of help smooth the colors better because, again, you don't want to have a color on top of a color on top of a color, you definitely want to continue to blend the products together or blend the colors together so that it's one smooth looking color. Like it's not going to look like one color, but you want it to blend smoothly into each other. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm just going to continue to blend until I get the look that I desire. Okay, and I'm going to add eyeliner, black eyeliner. This is from the Fenty Beauty. I think it's called Cause I'm Black. And I'm just going to add that liner to the top as well as underneath the eye. Nothing too dramatic because this isn't really a dramatic smoky eye. It's just a really nice, kind of soft smoky eye, not too intense. So I'm just going to add that liner to the top as well as to the bottom. Okay, here I was just checking out to make sure my blend was together the way that I want it. I'm going to start with color correcting. I'm going to add that reddish orange color first. And then I'm going to use the concealer, the Fenty Beauty concealer, and put that on my finger. And I'm going to blend the two together just to kind of help with the color correctness. Color correct that darkness that I have above the lip as well as under the eye. And I mixed the two because I really don't like that red under there. So I use that red as well as a concealer that's pretty much the color of my skin tone. And I just blend and pat into my skin to kind of even out that darkness. And so I really don't use primer all over my face, just usually where I get really oily, and I always get oily on my nose. So I just added some primer to my nose. And then I'm also going to use the black Opal Invisible oil blocking powder, and I'm going to put that on my nose as well as around the mouth area where I also color corrected. Now for foundation, Lancome is my favorite foundation. It's my favorite natural everyday foundation. So this is definitely the foundation that I fell in love with when I first tried it. It's definitely a really nice foundation. It's buildable coverage. So you can start with a little bit and you can build more to get the desired coverage that you want. And I really just like this foundation because it gives me a really nice natural look. I never feel like I have on a lot of foundation. It's not heavy at all. And it's definitely like my number one foundation. So I'm just putting that foundation all over my face, making sure that I get the hairline and all that good stuff. And I added a little bit more drop to the center of my face just because I felt like I needed a little bit extra. So now I'm going to use the Juvia's Place concealer to highlight. This is in shade 9, I believe, and I'm just going to highlight on my chin, above the mouth, a little bit down the nose, the forehead, and under the eye. Pretty much in all the areas that when you're taking a picture or something, or you're outside and the light hits your face, these are typically the areas where the light will reflect or bounce off your face. So these are the areas that you would typically highlight. I also went in with a slightly darker shade, shade number 8, and added a little bit to the shade 9, just to kind of give it that balance where I don't look like I put on too much concealer, or the concealer that I put on was too light. So I just added a little bit extra with that shade to kind of calm that down. So now I'm just going to use my concealer brush, and I'm going to pat that concealer into the skin, blend that all out so that it can spread and even. But then I'm also going to go on top of that with my beauty blender later on and blend that out as well. But right now I'm just using my brush to kind of spread it out, blend it into the skin a little bit. I really do love that Fenty spray. It's amazing. Here I'm going over like the outer parts of that concealer with the foundation brush that I used, just to tap into the skin, kind of a blend, so I don't have that line going across my face or in the spots where I concealed. And I'm going to spray some more because I love that spray. And it just helps make everything look and feel like skin. And then this is where I would take my damp beauty blender, which is actually the Real Techniques blenders. And I would just pat into my skin to blend out that concealer. Once I've blended all that out, I'm going to use the Juvia's Place concealer. I believe this is shade number 5. And I'm just going to contour my cheeks and above the forehead. I'm also going to do the jawline as well. And these are just how I contour. I'm going to spray some more, of course, because again, with every step that I use liquid, I always spray just so my skin can look like skin. It won't feel dry or anything. And so I'm going to take my contour brush and I'm going to pat that concealer color into my skin so I can get my contour. When I do my cheeks, I like to kind of go upward because I want that contour to go up and not necessarily down. And so I'm just going to take that brush and when I'm doing my cheeks, go upward. But then I'm just going to blend everywhere else, blend out that contour. And so once I do that, I'm going to take my blender and I'm going to dab into the skin everywhere that I place the concealer. Like, so I'm pretty much blending everything, you know, the foundation, the concealer, the contour, everything's blended into the skin, and I'm just gonna use that damp blender to pat everything in. And so the black Opal Invisible Oil Blocking Powder, I'm going to go ahead and place that in all the areas that I highlighted. So everywhere that I place concealer to highlight, I'm going to put this powder. So pretty much the chin, around the mouth, down the nose, the forehead, as well as under the eye area. I'm going to place that. And then I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. I don't bake for too long, but I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit, and then I'm gonna take my bronzer and go over all the areas where I contoured, which would be the jawline, that cheek, as well as around the perimeter of my forehead. I'm going to use the Cocoa Naughty, and I'm going to add that, kind of like setting my contour in a way, if that makes sense. And then as I'm going along, I'm going to wipe away or brush away that powder that I had placed to set in my concealer and everything. And here I'm going to take a smaller brush, and I'm going to use that natural brown color, and I'm going to place that underneath the eye, just because I want to give it, you know, an all round, not necessarily dramatic, but a more intense eye look. So I'm going to place that there, and then I'm going to go over that with that black color as well from the Urban Decay palette. So I'm not going to use a whole lot, but I'm also going to add that on top and blend the two together to give it just a nicer complete look. I really, really love this Jaclyn Hill champagne pop. Like, I remember I was working at Sephora when this product came out, and it would sell out. Like, we never really kept it in stock when it first came out. But I really love this champagne pop. I haven't worn it in a while, so I was glad to use it for this look. And so I'm just placing that highlight on the cheekbone area. If you noticed before, I sprayed my brush before actually using the product. For me, that just helps the product stick to the brush, and oh my gosh, it's so beautiful once you place it onto the skin. But that champagne pop, it is a must-have, I tell you. It's really nice. So just rubbing that in, and then I'm going to add some blush. I'm going to use Raizin by MAC. This is such a pretty blush, such a pretty blush. And I also sprayed my blush brush with spray as well, just to help pick up that product and place on my cheek. And here I'm just going to plop on some lashes. I don't even remember what lashes these were. I think I threw these away like right after this video. but I'm just going to plop on some lashes. It's always very, very tricky to get those ends, those corners to stick because they always tend to fly. Applying lashes is definitely one of those things that you guys have to practice because they can be a struggle. One lash is perfect and the other lash, it doesn't want to agree with you, but you'll get it. For the lips, since I was doing a smoky eye, I really wanted something just really soft. So I'm using the MAC lip pencil in Cork, and I'm lining my lips with that. And then I'm going to use this really, really pretty nude color from MAC. I cannot remember the name, but I'll make sure I have it in the description box for you guys. But it's a really, really soft, pretty everyday nude. Like it's really gorgeous. And I'm just going to apply that, and then eventually I'm going to add a little gloss to it. I believe I used the McGrath lip gloss. It's really nice. Like it's really nice and thick. I really love thick glosses. I don't know why, but it's really pretty. And almost at the very end, we're going to add some mascara. I'm just going to prime my bottom lashes first with the Lancome lash primer, and then I'm going to go over that with the Fenty Beauty mascara. And so I usually always do the mascara last. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Just a really quick smoky eye look. Very, very beginner friendly. Nothing too dramatic. Just, you know, 2 or 3 shades and you're good to go. So I'm just going to finish applying my mascara. And I believe at the end of this video, after filming, I actually went back and redid my lashes because one was giving me some problems, which is expected, but that's it. So please do not forget to like and subscribe, and thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.